What's up, guys? It's your boy Darskin, and today we are going to be talking about the next original character banner coming to the game. Now, we did get Valenti, a couple weeks ago. We did get also Lilia a couple weeks ago. So, it hasn't been that long, but with how global is going and what they've been doing with the game, we may eventually, because you got to realize, right? We got Green Lilia, and then like a couple weeks later, we got Valenti, and then like a couple weeks later, we got Lilia, right? It has been a couple of weeks, so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and make this video now before they do get announced or whatever, so that you guys could understand and know what's going on and how good are they, etc., etc., etc. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Let me go ahead and start out by saying that the next, well, as far as JP, right? As far as JP, the next original character banner had 2 original characters on it. Now, I'm not even sure why they did. Well, I'm kind of sure. And the reason why I think they did it is because one of the original characters are not that good, right? So we're gonna go ahead and go over both original characters. The first one, well, we're gonna talk about Easton, but right now let's talk about Mono, right? Mono is an original character. She's red typing. Human, weapon, mono, deathbringer, blah, blah, blah. So, anyways, let's go ahead and go over everything she does. So, her first card inflicts sever damage, which is double crit chance, equal to 160%, 240, and 400% damage, right? Now, her second skill inflicts damage equal to 140, 210, or 350, and applies poison for 3 turns. Her ultimate inflicts damage equal to 455% attack on one enemy, makes target bleed for 2 turns. Okay, and then going on to her passive, increases damage dealt by 50% if attacking enemies with bleed, poison, or shock. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that Mono is not a good unit. I know a lot of you, like, I'm going to show you guys what they look like, because don't get me wrong, Mono look bad, bro. Mono is a bad one, but she is just not a good character. I'm actually on JP right now. Give me a second and I will show you guys. I gotta find her. I have no idea where she is. I don't use her like that, so she just be sitting in a box, you know what I'm saying? Alright, there she is. Alright, so we have Mono right here. Like I said, Mono does look really nice as well. I don't have any outfits for her because I did not get any of them. I ain't get no outfits. You cannot, no sir. But this is Mono. She has dual katanas and she has double daggers as well, right there on her back side. So, yeah, that is Mono. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about why Mono is not. Now you are in luck though, because on JP, Easton was the guaranteed. So if Easton is the guaranteed, Mono doesn't even matter. Anyways, yeah, Mono doesn't even matter if Easton's the guaranteed. But like number 1, right? Easton has double crit chance on her first card, which would not be a bad thing per se, but her crit chance is already 80%. So now her crit chance becomes 160, which is like overly excessive, not needed at all. There are multiple units in the game with like 80% crit chance that do perfectly fine. One of those characters would be Lost Vein Meliodas. Lost Vein Meliodas has what, 70% crit chance, 70% crit. At 86 star, it's like 73%, and he crits literally all the time. On top of, I mean, his cards are multi-hit, so like he crits all the time. You could even look at King, right? If you look at Blue King's crit chance, 32%. Mine's like 40. My King crits all the time. Maybe it's like more closer to 50, but my King crits all the time, right? So it's like her having 80% crit chance and having like double crit chance on her card. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, but I mean, that's whatever. Her second card applies poison. Already not a good card. Like, poison is just not a good debuff. People, like, I mean, obviously if you don't have a cleanser on your team, cool, I guess. But I mean, as far as me, I'm always rocking King. So I mean, like most people have Lilia as well. So like even if they don't cleanse, they can heal. Just stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's the same reason why, like, corrosion is super good because it's doing like a big percentage, but like, you know, 50% of damage dealt at the end of the turn, which she's already not going to be doing damage because debuff cards have smaller multipliers, on top of her not having a lot of cosmetics or weapons to compensate for, you know, the lack of, you know, stats. Then her ultimate, 455%, which is not that bad. I mean, it could be way better, like, because this is single target, but bleed for 2 turns is just not good. Like, it's not good. And then this right here, 50% increased damage to enemies with bleed, poison, or shock. If they just make this like weak point, just look, apply weak point, boom. She becomes infinitely better, because now it's like enemies with bleed, you have to ult to get bleed. Enemies with poison, alright, second skill for poison, which I mean, it's not that bad, but she doesn't even have shock, so I don't even know why shock is here. But it's like, instead of giving her specific debuffs, because there's so many debuffs in the game, right? Attack seal, healing seal, recovery seal. There's like, if this was just weak point, oh my goodness, right? Or just did 50% increased damage to debuffed enemy, like that's even better. But it's not, right? So she just becomes not a good unit. Now that we've got that out of that way, Mono, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to scoot, hey, slide over. Easton, boys. Now Easton, let's talk about Easton real quick. Easton is a very, very good, I'd say she's the second best original character in the game. I feel like it's like Lilia, Easton, and then like Shin Valenti Shin, one of those two. Yeah, Easton is super good, and she looks really, really nice. I don't know. I like Easton. I like Easton a lot. Anyways, what she does, she's a blue unit, body team. We've been in here since Blazing Days, you already know. Inflicts 150% damage to all enemies. At rank 2, it's 180%, fills her ult gauge by 1. At rank 3, it's 300%, fills her ult gauge by 2. Now, this card alone is about to be really dumb in a second once I talk about what she does. This card right here increases attack related stats by 15, 20, or 30%. This is the exact same buff card as Green Hellbrum. Now, I have talked about it multiple times why Green Hellbrum has the best damage boost in the game. Green Hellbrum's boost is better than Guild Thunder because Green Hellbrum is boosting attack, pierce rate, crit chance, and crit damage over Guild Thunder just boosting attack. Now, obviously, Arthur's is debatably better because he boosts attack, HP, defense, but if we're talking damage, Hellbrum has the best one in the game. That no longer matters once Easton comes into the picture. Now, Easton is a lot more useful than Green Hellbrum as well. So a lot of you guys that want to use Green Hellbrum but don't, you are able to use Easton because she's amazing. She can also be used on the pin team, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But anyways, so yeah, there's this. Now her ultimate inflicts spike damage equal to 350% to all enemies, which is double crit damage. Her crit chance is only 25%. So I mean, that's whatever. I don't know why they did this, but this does, like, I get why they did this in the sense of she only has 25% crit chance, but with a level 3, it becomes 50%, well, 55%, right? Not to mention at 80 6-star, her crit chance is closer to 30. So she's going to be having a lot more crit chance basically, and it hits everyone, so she has 3 different chances for it to crit, which is really, really nice. Moving on to her passive, increases base stats by 5% per each buff on allies and enemies, limited to 5. You can only limit to 5 because if she had more than 5, it'd be busted, meaning you can get up to 25% basic stats on her attack, HP, defense. Now, basically, if all enemies and allies have 1 buff, she gets 25%. If your 2 allies have 3 buffs each, she gets 25% because it's per buff on allies and enemies. So if you have 1 ally with 5 buffs, she gets 25%. If you have 2 allies with 2 buffs, she gets 20. Basically, it's per buff per person on the field, excluding herself, I assume. Maybe it is with herself, but long story short, like, this is so good. This hard counters mono red. Because if they buff, she buffs, right? Hard counters mono red, AoE, and she's going to be giving buffs to pin team. Like, when she drops, like, if you... I know a lot of people think that pin team is not the best right now, that mono red might be the best, which it's debatable. But once she drops, if you run her with pin team is the best team. She puts pin team back on top guaranteed. Because if mono red buffs, she's just going to be buffed. So it's like, alright, well, I got to kill her now. But she's going to have so much defense and HP, it's not going to be that easy. On top of her skill being AoE, on top, bro, it's so good. Which, like, most of the people, like, I'm telling you, man, super good. And like I said, she was the guaranteed unit. So if she is the one that I don't know when they'll come. I assume soon, simply because it's been a couple weeks, and apparently we've been getting original characters every couple weeks. But oh my goodness, I love Easton. Super good. Super good. She's also used in Red Demon. She's used in Red Demon Extreme and Hell. Because Red Demon Hell, you can only use blue units, so she can be that booster for like Galland or blue Lizhawk if you need it. Yeah, very good. Easton is super good. Mono's not that good. And then Blue Lilia and Valenti are on the banner. Well, if it's anything like JP, Blue Lilia and Valenti were both on the banner, which I'm pretty sure they will be. I'm almost certain Green Lilia was not on the banner, so I don't know. But yeah. So, anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. That being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.